There we go. There we go. We are live. Testing, testing. 1, 2. For those of you watching, thank you, thank you. We are live. Let's warm up the wires. Let's get a big smile on our face. If you're at home drinking wine, bottoms up to you. I don't have anything here to drink with me, coffee, wine, water, otherwise, which is really kind of weird. But hey, if you've never seen me before, this is Patrick Allman. We're going to be talking for about 10, 20 minutes about business, about life. One of my I'm not gonna say one of my regularly scheduled streams. I'm just getting into it more and more and more. It's one of those things like, like a muscle. It's been a while since I've done a regular stream. Come on, stupid pencil. Apple Pencil, great tool. And I'm getting more and more into it. I'm doing regular content production, which is helping business. It's helping every single thing. So for those of you who watch on a regular basis, thank you very much. And for those of you who are tuning in, welcome to the Patrick Allman / Stop Doing Nothing show from StopDoingNothing.com and me, your host, Patrick Allman. I've been in business for 20 years and change, and I just like to talk about life and business and give you some tips and some things that will make your life easier. So here's how the flow is going to work today. We're going to talk about some recent things that have been going on in business and in life, what's coming up in the future. I want to recap really quick some rules of marketing, and then my real goal is to teach you something that's going to make all of your marketing, all of your life in general easier. It just smooths the runway, right? It just greases it. I like all aviation kind of, what's the word from them? Not the euphemism. All aviation themed ways of expressing something. I can think what the exact word is for it. If you know, drop it in the comments, because for some reason I am not, let me see here. My words are not flowing correctly. You teachers understand this. So, real quick, like I said, my name is Patrick Allman. I run StopDoingNothing.com and AllAboutFocus.com and PatrickAllman.com and everything around kind of focused digital marketing and Patrick Allman, professional speaker, and things like that. And let's talk about life. So, first of all, recent news, personal news. No major changes, I'm going to say, inside the house, but something that is really cool is I've been doing, the weather's getting good, so we're doing more and more outdoor walking. And if I haven't brought it up yet, a couple of weeks ago, I walked 13 miles. And I was really looking for a long walk, and I went into downtown Oklahoma City and parked my car at this donut shop I like, which is also by a taco shop I like, which is why I also walk so much. And I walked a big, giant ass square, like from, what was it? The whole thing was 13 miles, so it was kind of a square. It was more of a rectangle. So if you do the math, kind of half of 13 would be what, 6.5. So is that right? Half 13, 6. So each leg was probably 3 miles and change. But the way it was more of a rectangle. So versus being 3 miles and 3 miles, maybe it was 2 and 2, which would have given you 4. And 5 and 5 thereabouts. That's what it was. It was more like a long rectangle. Either way, when I got done, it was awesome. Had massive blisters. My body was shaking a little bit, but hey, I got some food in me. Some food truck food is actually what I think I got in me, and life was good. So my next big outdoor venture is, if you're in Oklahoma, you're familiar with one of the higher mountains in Oklahoma. Not the highest, but one of the higher ones is one called Mount Scott, and it's out in the Wichita Mountain Range, just west of Oklahoma City, just west by like an hour and a half. And it's 1,000 feet up, and it's a giant spiral road to get up there. And I've been doing my research, and there's cars on that road all the time. I've seen people hike on that road, and I've always wondered how they do that with cars. Well, there's cars on the road all the time, but on the weekends, it's only allowed, I think it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Cars are only allowed like afternoon. So if I get out there at a decent time this Saturday, which is my goal, assuming it's not pouring rain, I'm going to walk up that mountain at least once, maybe twice, depending on how I feel. So that's something big coming up. I'm always looking for these big outdoor adventures to kind of keep me on my toes, keep me moving. So after this one, I'm going to research the tallest mountain in Oklahoma. I'm not quite sure what that one is. I looked up the name of it a minute ago, but that's going to be my next hike. Right there. I think that one might be, I don't know if that one's twice as tall as the first one. I know the one Mount Scott is like 1,000 feet up. So that one's definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge. But outside of that, what the next one is, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to go attack it there. Business-wise, things are going really good here at Focus Digital. Earlier this year, and for probably about 12 months now, I've switched over to a new CRM which I call the Playmaker CRM, which is really, honestly, just a white labeled version of Go High Level, which is freaking awesome. It's taking the marketing world by storm. My team and I are getting really good at it, and it just does so much compared to the ClickFunnels of the world and the Keeps of the world. And these are tools I've advocated before. If you've ever wondered, Patrick, why were you talking about this tool 10 years ago and now you're on this tool? Well, yeah, I evolve. I research. I nerd out about CRMs and marketing automation. Comes from my programming background. So if I find a product that is that is definitely better than a previous one, of course I'm going to test it out, and if it works out well for me and it works out well for my clients, then it's something I want to be switched to. So if you're ever the person who needs a CRM, or you hate your ClickFunnels, or you hate your Infusionsoft Max Classic, or your ClickFunnels 2.0, which I hear is no picnic, or if you hate, what's the other one? What's some of the other ones out there? Oh, Constant Contact, MailChimp, just some of these ones that, they're like one-trick ponies. And I love it when something's more than a one-trick pony. And I found me something that's like a 50-trick pony. So if you ever want to hook up with my 50-trick pony CRM, you let me know, and Patrick will hook you up. Patrick will hook you up. Okay, before we get into my main goal for this particular show, which is how to make everything in business and life easier. For those of you who are not familiar with business and marketing, I want to do a real quick recap of the things that we're always taught when it comes to business and marketing, because this is going to make that easier. So when you start up a business, if somebody early on in business should say, whatever you do, don't try to be a generalist. In my world of consulting, I can consult on CRMs, and I can consult on it for gyms. I can consult on it for the military. I can consult on it for pet spas. I can consult on it for liquor stores. I can consult on it for, any variety of things. Okay, the work I do and my team does and the people I know in this industry do, we can basically do marketing work for anybody, because some of the philosophies and strategies and tactics and things like that, they just commute between systems. It doesn't really matter. But we're always taught to niche down for a couple of reasons. Riches are in the niches. We've always heard that, right? Not that other word. Don't think that B word. But the riches are in the niches from what I hear. Because once you specialize in something, anything in this world, you can charge more for it. A general, when it comes to, things like medical work, let's say, for example, some of the specialist doctors out there, spinal doctors, muscle doctors, ear, nose, and throat doctors, dentists. Some of these, medical professions can charge more than kind of your general corner, family physician who treats everything from a runny nose to, athlete's foot kind of thing. So when it comes to, whether it's medical or marketing or consulting or a contractor or things like that, if you can lock down to a particular industry and or a particular skill, you will make a lot more money. Money, the thing we all love. So, but that's hard sometimes, because when you first get started in business, you want everything. You want business here and business here. If it's raining money, I want it to rain money on me. I don't really care who gives me money. And that works okay for a little while. And it also may be something that you can do later in your business life cycle. But for the most part, you want to niche down. Number one, it'll let you get really good at one thing also. If you're not worrying about how to market 10 different things, if you get really good at one thing, you're going to get really good at one thing. Chloe! Oh my goodness! That's a name I haven't seen in forever. Are you in the States here? I know you had a beau up on the East Coast someplace. But are you back home? And I can't remember exactly which country. I don't think it was England, and I don't think it was Scotland. It may have been Scotland. I don't remember. Anyway, that's a name I love to see, lady. Love to see you on here. Matter of fact, what I can do is do something really cool like this. Click on Add to Broadcast, and it should put your little comment right there on the screen. So can I move that little comment over? Can I move? No, I have to move it over here on this one. Do I have to move it over on this one? Yeah, let's do this. Let's rearrange my comments, get them off of my face, and stack it right here in the middle. My little Chloe, I hope I said that right, comment. Oh, that's the name I haven't seen in a long time. Scotland! Woohoo! Cool. Very much in Scotland. Very cool. Yeah, she's a big fan, been following for a while. I think I've sent you some Stop Doing Nothing, some stuff. And at some point in time, I have to meet this amazing lady. If you're in Scotland, and you need social media help, please reach out to her. Social media and WordPress is what I believe you do. Or is it just WordPress? Either way, I know just know she's awesome, and she works in the same industry I do, so that's always cool. So let's real quick, let's close that down for. See, can I do that? Can I close that? What happened? There, it goes off. Sweet. Okay, I'm using Ecamm and I haven't used it for a little while, so every little click fascinates me. So yeah, niche down, you can make more money, you can get better at what you do, you can charge more because you have a specialized skill, and other service providers, other people that want to hire you will also be willing to pay more if you know more because you can fix their problems faster. So again, business, niche down, right? Always taught that. The challenge with that though is even when you niche down on something, it you're just kind of a consultant or an employee or a contractor or whatever, and you're just kind of sitting around waiting for people to throw you work. Like if you have there's a bizarre cat hair on my microphone. Like if you do consulting work, you're always either out fishing for work, any kind of general consulting work, or you're looking for whoever has a particular problem and they come to you, you kind of adapt a little bit and you twist yourself up and you bend yourself around like a pretzel and you say, yes, I can solve that problem. Where's your checkbook kind of thing, or where's your credit card kind of thing. I've learned something over the, so many things I've learned over the years from mistakes I've made and things like that. Something that makes everything easier, and this is true in your personal life, it's true in your marketing life, it's true if you are somebody who runs a business, or if you're somebody who wants to attract an audience, if you want to be an influencer, if you want to have a YouTube channel. I wear my Stop Doing Nothing tee all the time. Well, it sounds like, young lady, I need to get you another one is what I need to do. Another Stop Doing Nothing t-shirt, because I've come up with various ones over the years, and I need to get you some more bracelets too. And by the way, if you're watching and you ever want Stop Doing Nothing swag, hit me up in DMs. We've got t-shirts, we've got bracelets, I've got stickers, I've got postcards. I create, for people that really want them and are willing to pay shipping, I create these little Stop Doing Nothing care packages. And so, you know what? I don't have anything right around me, which is trippy right now. Normally I have some Stop Doing Nothing bracelets around me to show you guys. But that is just trippy that I don't have one. I'm not wearing one. It's probably where my bathroom stuff is. And I don't have one around me. How sad is that? Anyways, pretty cool Stop Doing Nothing swag we've got there. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with somebody. So something that makes your life easier in this world, whether it comes to business. So thank you for sharing that, Chloe. I really do appreciate you. Something that makes life really easier is, let me see what I write here. 3 things. Okay, we're going to run through these real quick. Defining a journey as a business, defining a tribe, and defining your standards. So let's cover those a little bit more in detail. So defining your journey. You can be the type of consulting business that's you're just there and somebody needs a thing and they come to you and they want to buy that thing and you consult with them on that thing and the thing is all great and grand and then they walk away and the relationship is done. And if you're a consultant, that's how most consultant businesses operate, is people come to them for an outcome, okay? They work together for months, days, years, weeks, days, years, whatever, and they get the outcome and they walk away. The thing that's really going to kind of change the flow of your business and literally change your path is defining what your journey is as a person and as a business. Now what that means is I can just say, hey, I'm Patrick. I'm a Go High Level consultant. I'm a CRM consultant. If you need help, come to me. Otherwise, I may not be your cup of tea. If I was to kind of reframe this in the journey framework, I might say something like, hey, my name is Patrick Almond. I've been a CRM consultant for a couple of decades, and I am on a mission to take clients from no CRM through the perfect customer journey of getting them organized, making sure they have their data organized, making sure they know where their leads are coming from, their contacts are coming from, and making sure they get the best return on their dollar. So eventually they can be to a business that has 5 income streams and is at least making $100,000 a month. So my journey in that case is I want to take small business service owners, because that's what I focus on, or service businesses, thought leaders, authors, things like that. I want to take those people to 5 income streams that make at least $100,000 a month. So that is my journey. So if you're coming into my world and you just need me to write you an email, then you know what? I'm not the person for you. I build journeys, and that's what I really focus on these days is building journeys, getting people from point A to point B. For those of you who have been in the consulting world for a while, this is also known as a customer path or an acceleration path or an ascension path or a migration path. But basically, if you come into my world and you are at one of these 5 steps, my goal is to get you to the next step and the next step and the next step until you are at the top of it. And sometimes you may come in and you haven't even started your journey yet. Then I bring you in on step 1, step 2, step 3. So if you haven't done so yet, try to find a way to define the work that you do and how you want to improve as a person in some sort of journey fashion where, person in phase 1 of their journey has nothing, they don't know anybody, things like that. Phase 2 is they've done networking, they know 20 people, they're getting at least 1 new client a month, and their income is $2,000 a month on retainers. Maybe step 3 is that the income's $4,000 a month. They're meeting 5 new clients a week, and they've, like I said, they got $10,000 or $50,000 in retainers right there. And again, I'm approaching this from my perspective, from a consultant perspective. If you're a fitness person, you're going to take people that may not be in the best shape in the world and get them through a journey of weight loss and muscle building. Those are really the main 2 things you can get out of a gym. So if somebody comes into your gym, and trust me, I've been in my share of gyms. I'm in a gym 4 times a week as it is. When someone comes in, they may not know what they're doing. They may not even have any goals themselves. They just know that they don't like being out of shape and they want to improve themselves. And I really am going to focus on the fitness kind of journey because to me, fitness is just one of the bases of life. If you can take care of yourself, then everything else is easier. Just like defining a journey. If you can define a journey, everything else is easier. If you can take care of your body, everything else from going to the grocery store to driving around, it's taking care of your parents, your spouse, your kids, your coworkers, all that stuff becomes easier. So I'm really loving the gym type of businesses or gym launch type of things. But again, somebody may come in to a gym and they have no idea how to use a dumbbell, no idea how to use a barbell. They are obese. They don't have good eating habits. They have very little muscle tone. So in your journey from step 0 to step 10, if you will, the person down here, you're going to get them from step 0 to step 1 to step 2 to step 3, all the way up into step 10. And this is something you could actually turn into a poster. I haven't defined mine really well. I actually have defined it in a tool called Miro, but the really good one I have is back here from Russell Brunson. Someplace in there, I have his really well-designed customer journey or custom ascension path. So do yourself a favor and define a journey that you take people on. And by the way, you can use this in your personal life also. If you're the kind of person who, just kind of wakes up every single day and meanders through life, your journey can be what drives you every single morning. So for example, my journey right now, I'm 260-ish pounds, I think. My journey right now is to get down to 200 pounds because there's some things I want to do when it comes to skydiving and ziplining. I want to keep the same muscle muscle mass I have now. I don't know. I want to lower my fat percentage down from, I think I'm at 20% or something like that. I need to get that down to at least 15 to 13%. And then I want to be able to start maybe throwing a little bit of running or a little bit of jogging in there. I don't want to become an avid runner or an avid jogger, but I would like to be able to do it and not, kill myself and have my knees hurt every single day. So that's personally my journey. And what's nice about that is when I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, as long as I remember that I am on that journey, everything else I do becomes easier. The eating becomes easier. What I drink in the morning, whether I have coffee, what do I get out? What's the temperature like? Am I going to do an inside workout or an outside workout? Is it Wednesday? Oh, that's right. Wednesday evening is chest night. I'm doing 100 sets. Excuse me. I'm doing 100. I'm doing 100 reps. Sorry, I keep thinking of my sets. So I'm doing 5 reps of 20, or I'm doing who knows what kind of things I'm doing, but it guides me. So when I go into a gym, when I go into a restaurant, when I go on a date with my wife, when I do any number of things, I know where I'm going. Okay? And everything from the appetizers I order to the alcohol I put in my mouth to the software I use. Thank you, Chloe. Very good. Very well stated right here. Such good advice, especially about applying it to our personal lives also. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. Can I add this one on here too? Or does it replace one? There we go. Sweet. Yeah, same here. I'm convinced health and well-being is the real business hack. You bet your sweet patootie it is. Goodness gracious, it's good to hear you say that, Chloe. But yeah, just the whole concept of a journey in your business or a journey in your personal life makes everything easier. It makes decisions easier because then you don't have to think as much. So for example, if I go out to a restaurant right now and I'm looking at the menu of the food, okay? KFC. I'm a sucker for KFC. But let's say I go out to KFC and I'm looking at the menu of food. And the one thing I'm remembering the entire time that I'm looking at the menu of food is my journey. Patrick, you need to get down from 20% body fat down to 15 to 13% body fat. Maybe you shouldn't eat a whole bucket of chicken by yourself, or maybe you shouldn't eat a whole pizza by yourself. Maybe work on something that's not so fried and breaded, maybe some grilled chicken, which can be very, very boring, honestly, to tell you the truth. But again, remember the journey. And I've had these thoughts recently. I can guarantee you, like in the past 30 days, I've had these thoughts because I cook a lot of grilled chicken. And for those of you who are on a weight loss kick sometimes, you realize that chicken, there's just only so much you can do with a piece of baked chicken. So what have I been doing? I've been piling up the spices. So like every time I go to the grocery store now, or almost every time, I buy like a new spice. And I have no idea what this spice is. Don't idea what it is? I got to have something to make the chicken taste better. So it helps you make all of your other decisions. Should I buy this piece of clothing? Should I buy this kind of car? Should I go out and do this thing with my friends? Does my friend want to go out? For example, for Saturday morning, this is a really good example because the more I think about it, the more it makes sense on everything. Hold on for just a second. So for example, this weekend, my wife is going out of town, and I'm going to be socializing with different friends, and I might go out and have some drinks. But Saturday morning, I have to get up. So that road closes at noon. I'm assuming it's going to take me 3 hours to get up and down there. So I have to get started by 9 o'clock. It's an hour and a half drive, so that takes me back to 7:30. So I probably shouldn't leave Oklahoma City any less than 7 o'clock. Less than 7 o'clock in the morning. If a buddy calls me Friday night and says, hey, let's go get S-faced, let's go get really jacked up. Let's eat a bunch of nasty food and drink a bunch of alcohol. I might be inclined to say, yes, wait, I've got that thing going on Saturday morning. I can't screw around with my diet, and I can't screw around with having a lot of heavy food in me, which is going to make it hard for me to wake up in the morning. Because I've decided my path Saturday morning, it makes everything I do Friday evening, Friday during the day, Friday morning, Thursday, etc. It makes those decisions a no-brainer. And that's one of the things I really like about defining a journey for your life and for your business is it makes decisions a no-brainer. Should I spend money on this? Should I market this? Should I say this? Should I go to this event? Should I post this online? Just having a journey and having a destination, and having a path for your life just makes it all so much easier. So that was the first one right there. I can see me doing some more content on this right here, especially when people where's my freaking mouse? When people like Chloe pop in here and tell me of all the cool stuff they wear of mine, which is really cool for you to put that on there. And she shares me cool stuff like this. By the way, if you are watching, please feel free to say your name, drop a comment where you're watching from right there. I really appreciate it because I got Chloe here watching from Scotland. I don't know what time it is there. I'm sure it's probably into the evening sometime, which makes me adore you even that much more because you stayed up late to watch, lady. I really do appreciate you. Okay, the second one I said I was going to cover was define a tribe. So I have notes here, my trusty iPad with my Apple Pencil. Define a tribe and the tribal members gives people a sense of belonging. So my tribe that I have defined and I'm in the process of growing is called Playmakers. I always like that because I like the idea of people who in life are doing things and affecting change, and they're the ones calling the plays, for lack of a better term. But this also comes from a couple of things. First of all, there was a show on HBO there a while back, a football show called Playmakers. And that's where I kind of really gelled the idea of I like the term of people that make plays. Those are the people I want to be in my tribe. That show also had a really good theme song, which kind of hooked me also. So define a tribe. If you're someone who's into fitness, for example, your tribe may be the ass shrinkers or something like that. I don't know. I'm just making things up right here. But once you define a tribe, it makes people The people that are, go back to step one, the people that are on the journey with you, if you say, this is my journey, and to be in this journey, which, to me is 5 income streams, $100,000 a month, to be in that journey, you have to be a playmaker. So all of a sudden now, the people that are part of step one, the people who want to join the same journey you're doing, by the way, that's another really good reason to join your journey, is because it gives people a reason to follow you. When you define the tribe, my playmakers, it makes it easy for them to say, oh, Patrick is on this path. Patrick has said this is what playmakers do. Ergo, I want to be a playmaker. I want to belong. I want to identify as a playmaker. I want to identify as someone who makes moves, makes plays in this world. So that's what's really cool. There are some other tribes you've seen out there. I think the Swifties is one. The Little Monsters from Lady Gaga is one. A lot of business and mastermind people that I associate with, and I'm sure my viewers associate with, they've got a tribe defined of some sort. And it gives you a sense of belonging. It gives you a sense, so if you're in the grocery store, like if Chloe was here in Oklahoma City, and I was wearing a Playmaker shirt, I had my Playmaker's bracelet on, and she had her Playmaker shirt on and a bracelet on, and be like, there's a member of my tribe. I know her. I know probably what her likes are, some of her dislikes. I know the path she's going on. I might even know where she is in that journey. But if that's the case, it's an instant kindred spirit. It's instant soulmate when you can find somebody who is on the same journey as you and you put them inside of your tribe. So as you can see, the whole concept of developing a customer journey or a personal journey along with being in a tribe, those two kind of feed each other. So the number one, for those of you that's tuning in, because I see my viewers are actually going up. So number one, the people that are on your journey with you, that's why you define the journey, is to get those people on with you. But then once somebody has subscribed to your journey, they become in your tribe, and they will do things and they will say things that you tell them to do. These are also known as fans. Now I take that back. Fans are just people that kind of casually like you. On social media we have fans. Out in the social world we have fans, but a tribe member is like one level further, not quite a stan. Stans are people that are kind of, mentally challenged and can be obsessed. Not quite stan right, but people who are convinced that you are going the right path, you are going to take them on the right path, and you're going to lead them to a destination. Define the journey, define the tribe members, and third, that will also help you define your standards and rules. So as a person, and here's an area where I've probably failed myself way too much. Define what you are willing to stand for and what you are not willing to stand for. And this is something that's going to be hard for a lot of people because we live in the age of social media and we're so afraid of offending everybody. And, we've got, as if regular words weren't enough, you got the politics in there. We're going into an election year. You throw a religion in there, and we're all so afraid. We're all so afraid because of business reasons, because of family reasons, because of personal reasons. I'm not talking about being afraid of the world. I'm talking about being afraid of being vocal, being afraid of standing on your own 2 damn feet and saying what you believe and not worried about that. Oh, you know what? You might offend somebody, so I don't want to say that. And I know so many people like this. People watching may even be like this. And some of it's true because some of you have jobs where you can't say what's on your mind. You'll whisper it, because I've been around some of you where you whisper what's on your mind, you just can't say what's on your mind. It would be better if we lived in a world where we could say what is on our mind all the time with 0 repercussions. I hope to get to that world at some point in time. I just don't think that we're really there yet. However, I do feel lucky, or possibly the word could be even blessed, that I am in a position in my life where I can say that. And the only reason I can do that is because I run my own business. Do I have clients I can offend? Yes, I do. Do I worry about offending them? Nah, not really too much. And my wife has even pointed this out before, where I've put certain things online, or I had a sticker on the back of my laptop once. No, it was my screensaver on the here. And the thing said, "Be fucking awesome," is what it said. "Be fucking awesome" was in a very cool font and everything. And to me, that phrase just defines how I felt. That is how I felt. I want to be effing awesome. I love that phrase. My wife would warn me. She'd say, you're going to really piss off people and annoy people if you keep that up. And I'm like, yeah, probably. And then she even told me at one point in time that I really had pissed off someone and they really had left. Um, and well, shit happens. Oh, thank you, Chloe. I really do appreciate you. Put this up here, what she just said. She's awesome. I really have to meet her someday in person. So yeah, and that part of that authenticity and integrity and consistency, it's probably cost me business. It's probably cost me friends. And so I do struggle with this a little bit. I want to be more verbal. I want to be, a person who can share more. So even though, Chloe, I appreciate you saying that, I think I could really improve in this area. As a matter of fact, the last two, defining my tribe, probably more like 1 and 3. Defining my journey and defining number 3, my standards and rules. I probably could be better at this. So this is something I'm struggling with, and I'm constantly working on my self-improvement in these areas. But if you are a person who, even privately, is willing to define your standards and define what you will and what you won't stand for, it makes everything around you better. And what it also does is it helps get the right people into your tribe. If you define, let's say, here's a good example, because my wife works in politics. I am very anti-political and more of a I follow the person or I follow the issues kind of person, not the party. I'm trying to think of something in politics that I could say that could really piss somebody off. Oh, here we go. Here's something I really don't do because because I'd like to be able to be verbal about what I say. Is I don't tell people who I vote for or the issues I vote for, because I want to have. I know it kind of sounds opposite from what I just said, but I want to be able to have frank, candid discussion with people without them getting predisposed as to what I do and don't believe based on my political party. Okay. It's kind of funny because the way I chose my political party, and I kid you not, I love to hear your comments on this. For those of you that are into politics, is I literally flipped a coin in line at the DMV. Took a coin. Look at my cool coaster from my good friend Jill Schiffelbein. I took a coin in line and I flipped that darn thing. I can't remember what it came up, heads or tails, whatever it came up with, heads or tails. And I think I said heads Democrats, tails Republican. It came up heads. That's why I'm a registered Democrat. But it tells you nothing about me, because I have certain views on women's rights. I have certain views on race rights. I have certain views on reproductive rights. I have certain views on politics, certain views on religion. And I want you and I to be able to have frank discussions about this, because frankly, my opinions at this particular point in time in my life, my 50 some odd years, whatever it is, 5 decades on this planet, my views are, getting more and more fixed, more and more entrenched. But I do like to think I have somewhat of an open mind here. But I do have certain standards and certain rules. Things I will always do and things I will never do. Okay? And these are just things I've chosen to make a part of me. And along the way in life, when you do that, when you say, this is what I am willing to say, do, follow, I'm a recovering people pleaser, aren't we all? I'm not even sure I'm recovered yet. But when you define that, it's going to cause you to lose friends, possibly even lose families. Hopefully it will not make you lose a spouse and or a boyfriend, and you just can't lose your children as much as you may want to lose your children, but you can't lose your children. But when you say, this is me, Kiara Settle, shoo, The Greatest Showman, love that song. When you say, this is me, then you are eliminating all of the other options. And like I said, people are going to unfriend you on social media. People are going to unfriend you in real life. People are going to block you. That's okay. You know what? Do not try to please every single person. I'm going to put up what Chloe put up right here. I need to have her on every broadcast because she's dropping some mad wisdom right here. I am a recovering people pleaser. We've all been there, okay? I probably was very much a recovering people pleaser. Oh, no. Yeah. I was very much probably a people pleaser into my probably mid to late 40s. Probably not in my 50s so much. But I was the kind of person that just liked to please everybody. And I would adapt and I would morph myself into somebody who was just trying to make everybody happy. And after a while, I just did a big old IDGAF. For those of you who have potty mouths like me, you know what IDGAF means. And guess what? I do have a potty mouth. I say shit fuck sometimes. You know what? That might have just cost me a viewer on YouTube. That might have just cost me a viewer on my live stream because I said a curse word. Okay? By the way, really quick, I'm going to take a pause for the cause here. If you haven't done so and you're watching, do me a favor, hop on over to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm streaming live there right now. And also click that little bell for notification. In the post-production, I'll see if I can put that graphic down here someplace. But I'm trying to very much grow on YouTube, grow on the podcast. So if you haven't done so, leave me a rating on Apple Podcasts. And then over on YouTube, if you would subscribe, follow, like, share, do all those things to help me grow and expand my channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you need me to do the same for you, leave me a comment someplace or DM me or heck, even text me. You know, our number here at the office is 405-217-4752. I will always take your text messages. So really quick, a recap of the show here. And by the way, these last three, as I was writing out what I wanted to talk about today, I was looking at these last three. Define a journey, define a tribe and tribal members that give you, so your tribe members can have a sense of belonging, and define your standards and rules. As I'm looking at those right now, and by the way, in case you think I am BSing, it's these three items. Let me see if I can see it right down here on my iPad. Where's my iPad? There's my iPad. There we go. It's these three items right here, okay? And I'm going to take my highlighter. Is that the highlighter? So, excuse me. I'm going to take my highlighter. I wonder if I can do this backwards. I'm going to highlight. This is horrible. I'm going to highlight this because you know what? I want to make sure. Dang it. There we go. I want to make sure that I cover these topics more. Goodness gracious, do I love my iPad. Love, love, love my iPad. I want to make sure I cover those topics more. So what I may end up doing is doing a show later and for just doing like one show on each one of those topics and getting some guests on from some people who are smarter than me and who would like to share some more information about this. So if you have any comments, questions, comments below, either during the show right now live or later, please drop them in the comments wherever you're watching. Right now we are streaming on Twitch, in a Facebook group. By the way, streaming to Facebook groups is going to go away pretty soon, unfortunately. I believe that's in April. So Twitch, Facebook groups, Facebook profile, Facebook fan page, YouTube, X, the social network formerly known as Twitter. I believe that's the places where we're streaming right now. But like I said earlier, if you could really help me out by going to YouTube and subscribe and follow there, that would really help us out here. Because like I said, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. You know what? I've been at 1,000 followers before on YouTube. I think it's fallen recently. I'm trying to get that back up by producing quality content. And that's going to come from you watching, but also you leaving me comments or text messages or whatever of topics you want to hear about. So real quick, for those of you tuning in at the end, I talked about some physical fitness stuff that Patrick's been doing recently, and I hope to get out this weekend and do some really cool physical fitness stuff. Minor stuff like hike up a mountain. Let me see. We talked about the rules of marketing, and for those of you that run some kind of business, we've talked about the importance of defining your journey, defining a tribe that wants to go on the journey with you, and defining the standards and rules of the journey and of the tribe. Those three things, while I was just brainstorming ideas today, those three things are really, really good. By the way, if you're a streamer also, if you're the kind of person who uses streams with your Mac on Ecamm or on other things, the Ecamm just came out with an update that allows you to do some really cool things on the Mac. So you can see me exploring that some more. As you can see down here at the bottom, let me see, I've got my logo over here, and I've got the logo on the mic, and then over here, I've got this, the @PatrickAlmond. That's where I am every place on social media and YouTube, and that's obviously my name also. So I'm making these graphics a little bit better for you. In the background, for those of you that have questions, because I always get questions about what's on in the background of my videos. And I love talking about this stuff because everything back here has a meaning. So goodness gracious, and of course I'm opposite. So so over here. Stop doing nothing. That is a neon sign, faux neo. It's actually made of rubber and vinyl. I got that from somebody on Amazon. Cost me like 135 or 150 bucks. But yeah, he shaped those letters and you plug it in down. It's not battery operated. It's the plug is down here someplace when I plugged it in. And then obviously that lights up right there. So that's really cool. What else is back here that's really cool? This is, see if I can get this right. I may have to come over here. Here we go. So down there, I believe, is I am not throwing away my shot poster from Hamilton. I am Hamilton obsessed, and my wife and or my daughter got me that poster right there, which is really, really cool. Up here is a little tiny man. It's a plastic figurine I saw years ago of somebody. Thanks, Chloe. I really do appreciate you tuning in, and I'll try to make these more regular and get you and so you can watch there, because I'm sure it's evening where it is you. But this is a little tiny man. It's basically a little tiny molded man rebuilding himself. And in the terms of in terms of physical fitness, it's basically an obese person who's chiseling himself out to be skinnier and healthier. I saw that once online and fell in love with it. I was eventually able to get my own, which is really, really cool. Two other things back here I'm going to cover for now, which are really cool. See, one, this back here, you see this big white thing? You can barely read it. You can barely read it right here. This is one of my most treasured possessions, and it's from my daughter, Lisa Almond. This is a cue card from Wally. Wally, if you know anything about talk shows, Wally is the lead cue card guy at Saturday Night Live down in Rockefeller Plaza in New York City, and Wally has been at SNL for decades. He's the guy that writes all the cue cards. Him and his team, they write all the cue cards. Well, you can actually pay to have Wally make a cue card. So this over here says something, something, something about stop doing nothing. As a matter of fact, let's go grab that real quick. Here we go. My cue card for my amazing daughter, Lisa. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? What does that say? Live from New York City, it's Stop Doing Nothing with Patrick Almond. And Wally's initials should be down there. And so what this is Wally made this up. I don't know if he did it at home or if he did it in the SNL studios right there, but this is an actual one by Wally. And then what you can't see is over here on this bookshelf someplace right underneath where that was, Wally actually took a Polaroid of him holding that. So I'm just a huge fan of SNL and everything that goes on behind the scenes. My daughter and I even got to go to a show once, and I'm just obsessed with that show. So that was a Christmas or a birthday present years ago. Excuse me, I think it's last Christmas. Probably one of the best gifts I've ever received. It was just so cool. And I'm trying to make my way back to get into the ticket lottery at NBC, so I go to more SNL shows. If I lived in New York, I would be at that show all the time, because tickets are free. You just got to put your name in the lottery. So that was pretty cool. And the last thing we're going to cover here on this particular trip here we go. You can barely see it here, and it's not active right now. This is a countdown clock. And what I like to do when I remember is either Saturday night or Sunday morning is I will go to that countdown clock. I want a bigger one so you guys can actually see it. Where is the darn thing right there? This is a countdown clock. And so what I will do is I will, either very late, like I said, very late Saturday night or early Sunday morning, what I will do is I will set that up to do a 7-day countdown timer, if you will. Okay, that's because I like to be reminded of the passage of time. I think way too often that we just kind of get stuck in our rut and we don't realize that time is passing us by. That's one reason. Oftentimes other reasons are things like it was on a show I saw live. Was it Studio 60 Live on the Sunset Strip, which was an Aaron Sorkin show, which is kind of like a behind the scenes of an SNL type show. And the lead writer, Matt Albee, who, goodness gracious, the Friends star who just died. That's the guy that played one of the lead characters, Matt Albee. He just passed away from Friends. He had a giant countdown timer on his wall every week. And so basically, the show starts at midnight Saturday night, and so his entire week revolves around, Sunday morning that says, 6 days, 59:59, and then the show starts Saturday night. So it's a countdown timer reminding you that there's time is always ticking away, and you're always working on the journey. I think Lorne Michaels said once, when it came to SNL, he said that they don't put on the show SNL when the show is ready. The show starts at, let's say it's midnight. That's when the show starts. Ready or not, that's when the show starts. Is it ever 100% ready? Nope, doesn't matter. That's when the show starts. So number one, it's kind of a tribute to one of my favorite shows out there, Studio 60 Live on the Sunset Strip. But also, I like coming in and seeing that. And it's a constant reminder that time is just passing by, and there's just no time to screw around. And I'm learning that the older and older and older I get. And then also, I was going to show you on my phone. There's an app. It's that middle number right there. Same kind of thing going on. So I can always pick up my phone and say, oh, you know what? I've got 4 days, 6 hours, 8 minutes, and 2 seconds until midnight Saturday night. Okay? That's how much time I got to get stuff done this week. If I go outside and I screw around, if I go outside and play basketball, if I go take a nap, I'm going to rob myself of some of those seconds. So this clock, like I said, I really like. I'm just trying to find, here we go, doggone it. There we go. I'm just trying to find a bigger version of it so that it shows up better on camera. I also wouldn't mind having one like behind the whole desk and camera set up right here so I could see it also. So ideally I want two, one back over there for you to see on camera and one up here for me to see. So working on it. If you have any ideas where I can buy one of those, I would really appreciate it. I would make good use of it. And by the way, this audio, last thing I'm going to touch on real quick before we wrap up. This audio, I'm also going to convert this into the podcast. So if you're not following the Stop Doing Nothing podcast on your phone or on Apple Music or on Spotify or any number of places yet, please go follow the Stop Doing Nothing podcast and give me a rating. I would love it if you loved it and you gave me a really good rating. And if not, maybe DM me and tell me what can be improved, because I'm always up to be improved. Chloe, thank you very much for tuning in from Scotland. I know you have a beautiful, beautiful accent, and I know you make it to the East Coast sometime. And for those of you in the future who want to watch a show and tune in live, you can see Chloe. Looks like you're tuning in on YouTube. So that might be the best place to watch, is on YouTube. That's one of the channels I'm really starting to grow, and Chloe was nice enough to jump in there and engage with me there. So again, follow, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe and click the little bell to like. Go follow on the podcast. Text me anything you want to hear about or any topics you want me to cover, 405-217-4752. And as always, you can email me at patrick@stopdoingnothing.com, and I will get back to you. And you know what? When you have really good ideas, I incorporate them in the show. I can tell you there are plenty of times where people have given me ideas in the past, and I've incorporated them in the show, especially if you have a question about life or business. I've got some decades under my belt, so I've got a lot of opinions on things, and I'm not afraid to share them, even if they're unpopular ones, okay? We talked about that earlier, right? Defining your standards and rules. Rule number 3, defining the journey, defining the tribe, defining your standards and rules for your journey and for your tribe. Thank you very much for watching and paying attention. I'm going to sign off now and go check out the comments and get ready for the next show. I love you guys, and I really do appreciate your time and attention for watching. Take care. Mwah.